Hi guys, welcome back to Crafting with Kelly. Today we're going to do a new project and we are going to do Sharpie tie-dye. For this project you'll need a white shirt. If you don't have a white shirt, you could also try it with like white Keds or white shoes, white pillowcases. It works pretty well with any kind of material. It works best obviously on white because then you can see the colors better. So you will also need Sharpies in a variety of colors, however you decide. You will need an eyedropper, and you'll need isopropyl alcohol. I know this is hard to come by nowadays, so supposedly you can also do this with nail polish remover. We're going to try both ways and see which one comes out better. For the last step, you will also need an iron and an ironing board, obviously, to set the color. And you will also need cardboard, just to make sure that your colors don't bleed through. So, step number one. Step number one, you want to put some cardboard in between the layers of your shirt or your t-shirt or your pillowcase or whatever it is you're going to be coloring, so that the color will stay on one side and not on both. So just make sure you have some surface to work on and that it's flat. Step number two is to take your Sharpie markers and start coloring. Now, depending on what kind of tie-dyeing you want, there are different things. You could just completely crazy draw if that's what you want to do. If you want to do like fireworks or flowers, you do dots and then you go in a pattern around. So let's try a few different things and you're going to start coloring. So just take a Sharpie and draw. Now your colors are going to bleed, which is a fancy way of saying they're gonna move around a little bit. So some people like to make them look like flowers or fireworks, and you can do that by doing circles. Let's see, we'll put this one in the middle. And it's not always easy to draw on t-shirt fabric, but do your best. So I'll just do one so I can show you, and then I'm going to turn this off and repeat. So if you want to do like a pattern kind of, we'll see how this turns out. So here's one that I did. So you could do a series of dots. You could also just do something crazy if you want to just do lines. You could do, let's see what happens if we just do squiggles. Now, don't do this with a shirt or a t-shirt or a something you really love, because it's never going to come out. But that's kind of what we want, isn't it? So let's see, we're going to try some different patterns, so you can just pause this and think about what you want to do for a pattern. If you want to do a pattern, you could also just do your name if you wanted to do that. You could try that. Let's see, what else could we do? I'm just going to do, for me, I like the pattern look. So let's see. So I'm just drawing lines on mine right now. And the colors that you do will maybe not come out the way you think they will, because some of the color will come off. Or it will change when it goes in with a different color. So let's see, what else can we do? I'm just gonna make some crazy lines up around the front. And you can do as little or as much of the t-shirt as you want. Let's see, do that, we'll add some more here. can be very creative, and you don't have to just do one thing. You can do it however. You could just do the top of the shirt. You could do the whole thing. You could do however you want. So I'm gonna let you guys color. I'll show you what I've done so far. So far mine has got sort of flowers and fireworks sort of, and then a line. So go ahead and keep coloring. Or if you want to watch the whole video and then go back and do it, you can do that too. So now that you finish coloring, and you can do it all over, I just did a small portion, but you could do crazy and go everywhere. You will need, I forgot this part, you'll need a tray or something to catch the alcohol so that it doesn't drip on a surface. The Sharpie did come through a little bit, so that's why you need the cardboard. So now we are going to put the tray underneath what we're gonna do. So you could use a pie pan and just do like one part of it at a time. You can do the whole thing at once if you want. So here we have our designs, and we're gonna get some alcohol, and let's start with this one up here. So you're just gonna drip a little bit in the middle and see how it spreads out. Now you can also use a spray bottle if you'd prefer, and I might not have put enough color. So we'll do a little bit more. So you're just gonna drip and let it kind of soak in. Let's see. I'll do this one because that might show more. You don't have to use a lot, but it works better if you drop it. But you could also use, and mine is this is tilted, so it's all kind of going towards the, instead, it should be flat, because that way it spreads out in an even direction. You could also use a spray bottle. I've heard people using spray bottles. Just be careful you don't spray anything else. We're just gonna drop, and you can kind of watch the patterns appear as the cloth soaks in. And it's nice to start in the middle, but you can start on the edges too. I'm gonna let that sit. So you can do this slow, you can do it fast, you can do one at a time. I'm doing this for effect, so we are doing it a little bit faster than I would if I was watching the colors bleed out to the. Maybe I'll do another piece after we do this. So let's see. So you can see everything's kind of blending in a little bit. We can do the top too, where I did just the lines. So you just drop it on the line and let it go. That's why you need something underneath though, because the alcohol is dripping through. Oh, and I did say we were going to use the nail polish, so let's let this one dry first, and then we'll do a few more designs with the nail polish and see how that comes out. So hang on while we get some time lapse here. Okay, so this is how they look now that they've had a chance to come together. And remember how I said we were also going to try nail polish. So this was all with the alcohol. So we're going to try a couple more just with nail polish remover. So let's draw a couple more flowers. So I'm gonna draw, you keep drawing. I'm going to draw, you keep drawing, we'll see what happens. So now I have several more lovely firework flower things. Take out the cardboard, and this time we're going to use nail polish remover and see if that is any different or if it works better. And you can judge for yourself once we finish. Oops. Let's see what happens if we do go back over some of the ones we've done up here. See if it makes it. Huh. Seems like nail polish remover actually blurs them out a little bit more. So now these are the ones with nail polish remover. We'll let those dry for a second. And so here we have the shirt, and you can see that the flowers all look pretty cool. Tie-dyed. Not really tie-dyed, but kind of. And looks like the nail polish remover spread the colors a little bit more and stopped better than the Sharpies did with the alcohol. So now we are ready for our last step, which is an optional step, but it's one that you probably will want to do. Now, for this last step, you will definitely need an adult to help. You need an iron, and this will set the colors so that when you wash the shirt, it won't bleed out in the wash. So you're just going to take an iron and very lightly go over each color so that it kind of sets it. Now you want to make sure you still have the cardboard in between your shirt layers, because you I had 2 pieces of cardboard, because you don't want to put the colors over to the other side unless you do want to. So you just iron it to set the colors. And whoops, this would be easier on an ironing board. However, we work with what we have, and my ironing board doesn't fit over here. So just iron it so that it's flat and that the colors are set, and then you have a beautiful tie-dyed shirt. You can do anything, so this is to prove you can kind of do anything. I'm just coloring some hair ties, and the nice thing about this technique is you can use it with anything, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a white item, but white just picks up the colors better. But you could also use it with, like if you have any of those white sneakers, you could use it with those. You could use it with pillowcases. You could do anything, actually, anything that's fabric. And I've seen people do book covers with it too. Like you could do just a plain piece of like muslin or white cotton and just wrap it around a book. You could also make bookmarks. This technique will work with paper. It's you could try it, see what you come up with. So, ta-da, tie-dyed hair things. So Sharpie tie-dyeing is a fun activity. If you're doing it with kids, make sure that you just don't get your Sharpies on your clothes that you're not trying to tie-dye. And be sure you're careful with the rubbing alcohol and the nail polish remover. So this is probably an activity for younger kids. They need an adult supervision. For older kids, if you're careful, you can see if you can do it. I'm actually going to go bring this in the wash it, and then I will try it on, and that will be our last final thing. I'll put the hair ties in too, because they're looking pretty interesting.
and we'll be back.
And so this is the finished product. It actually turned out pretty nicely. So tie-dyed t-shirt and not too much effort, not too hard. I think you will like doing it at home. So happy crafting, and we will see you next time. Bye.